Hey, welcome. So, if you run a business, especially a small or medium-sized one, and you take credit cards, you've probably heard the words PCI Compliance. And let's be real, it usually sounds like a huge headache. Well, today we're going to break down what it actually is, why it's so important, and here's the key part, how you can flip the script and turn it from a chore into a real strategic win.
I mean, let's be honest for a second. For so many businesses, compliance just feels like this endless maze of complicated rules, unexpected costs, and things that just get in the way of running your business. It's that item on the to-do list that just never goes away. If that's ringing a bell, trust me, you are not alone.
Not at all. In fact, you're in the same boat as over 1.5 million other merchants around the world who are all dealing with these exact same requirements. It's a massive, shared challenge for businesses of pretty much every size.
So let's just get to the bottom of it. What is PCI compliance? At its heart, it's just a set of security standards. Think of it as the official rulebook for keeping your customers' card data safe and sound every single time they buy something from you. Simple as that.
But here's the catch. Even though there's a rule book, getting it right is actually really tough. Industry reports show that at any given time, a shocking 65% of organizations are not fully compliant. I mean, that's not just a small gap, that's a huge industry-wide problem.
Okay, but this is where we're going to shift gears. Instead of seeing compliance as just another cost, another pain point, what if we reframed the whole thing? What if it could actually be a source of real business gain?
This right here is the core idea. Every single one of those requirements, every item on that checklist, can be a step toward making your business stronger, safer, and yeah, even more efficient. It's all about turning that nagging, recurring pain of audits and updates into repeatable, strategic wins.
You know, it really just boils down to two different ways of looking at it. The pain perspective sees it as this constant drain, just money and time going out the door. But if you flip that coin, the gain perspective shows you what's really possible. Way better security, smoother operations, and a rock-solid reputation that makes customers trust you.
All right, let's pop the hood and actually look at the rulebook itself. It's called the PCI DSS, which stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. Now, I know that sounds super technical and boring, right? But stick with me because we're going to demystify it, and you'll see it's not nearly as intimidating as it sounds. The whole standard is built on these 12 core requirements. Let's start with the first 6. Think of these as building a secure digital fortress around your business. It starts with the basics, firewalls, and this one's huge, getting rid of default passwords. You'd be amazed how many breaches happen because of that. Then it's about protecting the actual data, with things like encryption for data you store and TLS to protect it when it's flying across the internet. It's all about laying a really solid, secure foundation. Okay, so the next 6 are all about maintaining and, watching over that fortress you just built. This means only giving people access to data if they absolutely need it. It means everyone gets their own unique ID, beefed up with MFA, multi-factor authentication. That extra code you get on your phone. It's not just digital either. You've got to lock down physical access to things like servers. And then you have to watch everything, log it, test it, and wrap it all up in a formal security policy, which should be a living, breathing document for your whole team.
So, we've talked about the what, but now for the really important part, the how. How do you actually do all of this without completely losing your mind? Let's walk through a pretty straightforward 5-step action plan to get it done.
The journey always starts with an assessment. I mean, you can't protect what you don't even know you have, right? Once you know where your data lives, you can put in the technical stuff, the firewalls, the encryption. And then comes maybe the most critical part, your people. Regular training isn't just a nice to have, it's essential. They are your best line of defense. And finally, you make it a habit with regular audits and by working with trusted partners who are already compliant, which makes your life way easier. And here's how you can turn that whole plan into a really practical checklist. First things first, you have to confirm your merchant level. Basically, the number of transactions you process determines which specific rules apply to you. Once you know that, you can move right down the list. Do the risk assessment, put the controls in place, train your team. Having a list like this just makes the whole thing feel so much more manageable and way less overwhelming.
Okay, so after all this work, what's the real payoff? What do you actually get out of it? I promise you, it is so much more than just passing an audit or checking a box on a form. This is where all that effort really turns into a powerful asset for your business.
So let's just spell out these strategic wins. We're talking about building deep, real, unshakable trust with your customers. We're talking about protecting your business from the absolute financial nightmare of a data breach. And here's the really cool part.
While you're putting all these secure processes in place, you are accidentally making your entire business run better, smoother, and more efficiently.
Which brings us to this one last question. When you really look at all the benefits, the trust, the security, the better operations, is compliance really just another cost you have to deal with? Or could it actually be one of the smartest investments you'll ever make in the future of your business? Something to think about.